So drugs equals superpowers. It all makes sense now. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my white room. Now today I'm going to be talking about the movie Lucy. This is a movie starring Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman. Primarily Scarlett Johansson though. And so I'll be diving into it. There might be slight spoilers in this review, so just keep that in mind if you haven't seen the movie yet. But the movie starts out with Lucy, who is played by Scarlett Johansson. She is a college student studying in an Asian country somewhere that I don't know the name of. I apologize for that. Very quickly, within like the first 5 minutes of the movie, she is roped into delivering this suitcase of something to these men who she doesn't know, and she is very quickly whisked away to their leader. And this is where I really saw Scarlett Johansson doing a lot of her best acting, because you can see her just trembling. You can tell she is terrified by these people, as anyone would be if you were abducted by scary Asian men in suits. I would be very scared too. But if you saw the trailer, you know that eventually she gets the drug that is in the suitcase inside of her, and with it she's able to access more of her brain's capacity, and it steadily increases as she gets more and more of that drug into her. With this, she develops essentially superpowers. She can develop sonar, she can see telecommunication, just the signals. She has access to video and just can basically create invisible walls like in video games, and just freeze time and all these cool things. She even gets the Force for a little bit, which is awesome. And so with that, the action scenes in this movie are actually kind of cool. They're not so much action scenes as basically Scarlett Johansson going in and kicking everyone's ass really, really quickly and efficiently, and I really liked seeing that. We got to see the display of what the mind theoretically could do if it reached these percentages of capacity, and I think that that would be really, really neat. That being said, there's not really a whole lot of introduction to Lucy as a character, and that is something that kind of bugged me, just because we jumped really, really, really quickly into the main course of the movie, that we don't really get a steady introduction to who this person is before she becomes this superpowered being. And so that kind of bugged me a little bit. Also, her sidekick in the movie is essentially becomes a cop after a while. There wasn't really any purpose to his character being there except to do one little task for her and then basically just follow her around while she shows off all the stuff that she can do, which he really can't. And he does have kind of an essential role towards the end, but for the majority of the movie he's just kind of there and just someone being wowed by everything she can do. But the movie in and of itself is really interesting because it dives into, again, the theoretical possibility of what the brain could do if we were able to harness it to more extent than the 10 to 15% that we currently have access to. And it's just kind of an interesting idea and concept, and who knows, maybe in 100 years we'll have a way to access more of our brain, and we'll see if this movie was total crap or if it actually hit some points correctly. The ending scene, I'm not going to talk about it, but the ending bit of the movie is actually really, really, really cool. That was the part that I probably enjoyed the most, just because I can't really go into it, but just know that that is probably the coolest part of the movie. The movie is actually really short as well, by the way. It's only about an hour and a half long. With that, it kind of ends fairly abruptly, pretty much. The big climactic scene happens, and then a very short, minute and a half scene happens, and then the movie's done. So that kind of bugged me, is just the fact that I felt like they could have done a little bit more with the film, given Scarlett Johansson a little more purpose than just trying to harness more of her brain's capacity in the quickest amount of time possible. And that's essentially what the movie is. She's trying to go around, find the rest of the drug, and get it into her so that she has access to the rest of her brain so she can share knowledge with the rest of the world. It starts at 1% and then goes to 10% and then goes to 20 and so on and so on and so on until it reaches 100. And that's just how the movie is done. It's broken into those little sections. And it's just kind of a neat way for the audience to see where she is in terms of her brain development as opposed to whether or not we would even realize that if they didn't show that. Overall, I did actually enjoy Lucy for the most part. Like I said, it was a little quick to get into the whole plot, which I didn't really enjoy that much, and then the ending was a little bit abrupt, but overall, I had a fun time with it. I thought the movie was incredibly interesting, and I think that it'll be something that people will talk about for a little bit, at least maybe in the scientific community, if nothing else. So, that's my review. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. Let me know what you thought of Lucy down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And, as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.